Okay. Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classics as known classics. This is episode number 1567, Doubleshot number 1461. Now, I mentioned in the last video that this was discussing two Keith Giffen trades. And I was correct, yes. Damn it. Be right back. Okay. My apologies about that. I had to go answer the door. Somebody rang the doorbell. Okay. Now, this first book is a book that was started publishing in 2013. Yes, it was late 2013 this was released. Yep, late 2013. This was in fact the first of two books under this particular name because they relaunched it. They added one number to it. We have Justice League 3000. Written by Keith Giffen, Jane Lemonius, and artwork by Howard Porter. Here's a fun fact for you when it comes to this book. Howard Porter was not the original artist of this book. Nope. And you're probably thinking, really? Who was the original artist? There was an article I read when this originally came out several years ago that the original artist, because this was going to be a reunion of the Justice League International creative team, which was Keith Giffen, Jane Lemonius, and Kevin Maguire. Yes, Kevin Maguire was originally slated to be the artist of this book, but then I tried to talk to him briefly about this. He just didn't want to talk about it at all. Yeah, it was something that he just didn't want to talk about because he probably had fallen with DC over this title. He probably didn't like the character designs. He probably thought he was doing Justice League International. Nope, he's doing Justice League 3000. What this book is simply put, like, all these characters here are clones of the regular superheroes in the year 3000. At the time this book was launched, it was launched as the replacement title for the Legion of Superheroes. Something that's set in 31st century. Of course. And the lineup you have here on the cover is Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, and Green Lantern, who looks a lot like the Spectre. And the Batman on the cover here, he looks like Batman Beyond. But yes, they later revealed that these five people, they're all clones. Clones created by the Wonder Twins. Yep. Now I do gotta admit the artwork here is really good. Now, is there any reference in here to Justice League International? Not really, no. They do, in fact, explore the year 3000 a lot in this book. Or apparently that we have, where, get this, the actual planet they're sitting on is not Earth. Nope, it's an alien planet known as Burberry 7. That's where a lot of this book is set. And later on, they do add a Guy Gardner to this book, who's a woman. Yes, Guy Gardner's a woman, because why not? Yep. So, by the way, Barry Allen in this book, yeah, his name is Barry, but his name is Allen. He's got white hair, and he's in play relationship with one of the female members. So there's a lot of stuff here related to how the superheroes act. Superman and Batman are to your throats a lot through this whole book. And here's the thing. This Superman can fly. He has super strength. But he has no heat vision. Nope, no heat vision. Yeah, as revealed later on, he has no heat vision. He thought he did, but nope, not really. Yeah, and but these particular superheroes, they don't have any of their backstory. Like Superman is not grew up with the Kents. This Batman that basically never lost his parents. Wonder Woman is pure Amazon. Flash is hey, his Flash used powers might burn him alive. Yeah, seriously. Despite the fact he looks like the Flash from one of the alternate Earths, because he got the little mask, basically like a bandit mask. So yeah, Green Lantern, and of course you have this one woman here who's got blue skin. Basically, a lot of this book is simply put like in these issues here, we have a lot of infighting in the Justice League, and we have this woman who appears in the book. Let's see if I can find her name here. This blue skin woman here. Her name is, because I think this issue was the first appearance of this character. Her name is Locust. Yeah, and she's pretty much kind of in the way one of the primary villains of this book. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she appears in a lot of these issues. She basically only skips like she appears in pretty much almost this entire original run. She has not appeared in issue 1 or 5 or even 11, and 11 13, 15. Mm-hmm. Yeah, after issue 12, she's never seen again. Yeah, Arrow Masters, who joins the group later on, she actually appears in issue 1, but she doesn't join the group until like issue 3. She's pretty much like as a supporting character. Mm-hmm. And they also have a firestorm in the book. Yes, a firestorm. Even though that his association with the Justice League is not exactly as big as people think it is, because yeah, he's member of Justice League before, so yeah, when it comes to Firestorm, he generally, I mean, his history has pretty much mostly been attacked, but he has member of Justice League. But it's not something people tend to. People bring it a good amount of time when it comes to. Yeah, it's generally put like the only like group he's ever been part of. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he's not someone people think of when people think of the Justice League. People think of Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, Martian Hunter, Aquaman, Firestorm joined later. So a lot of the time, this book. Oh yeah, by the way, Superman is very arrogant. You almost could say he's similarly written to the Ultraman from Earth 3, but he's not him at all. He's not like evil. Yep. And then we have what looks like, it's not Lobo. Which issue is this one? The Dark Age. Let's see. Yeah, in issue 3, I think this is supposed to be. I thought it was Lobo, but I don't think it is Lobo. Yeah, and the planet they're based on, I thought was Earth. It's basically Pterogeros. Yes. It's not really like you can say like a lot happens in here per se. You just have some characters. You have Wonder Twins do whatever the heck they want. Aerial Masters. We have Locusts pop up here and there. It just lots of chatting per se. The only reason why I read this book was because Keith Giffen wrote it. Yes. But for the start of the series, it's okay. And look, we have Firestorm. Because of course we have to have Firestorm in this book. Yep. Here's Firestorm for you. And he joins with the very next issue. Yep. Also, for some reason, they changed Wonder Woman's attire in this issue. Yeah, I don't really know why they changed her attire for. And you have this guy called Ikias, I think his name is. Yeah, they built this guy up for quite a while. And that, I think it's, let's see, is it him? No. I'm trying to find out who this person is. Because I think his name is supposed to be Cabal. Cabal, I think his name is supposed to be. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's not much information on the guy. Aside from the fact he fights Justice League 3000, he's like the first primary villain. Yep. So far, I love the artwork for this book, but the story is just okay at best. Mm-hmm. Just a lot of stuff, a lot of random stuff happening in here. I mean, the most interesting character is Locust. Yeah, she's the most interesting one. Not just because she's hot, because she's in this book a lot of the book. She hasn't been in like every issue, a majority of the issues for just like 3000 that she's dropped from the book. For like no reason. For the first book for Justice League 3000, let me give it a. I want to be nice to it because I like keep giving Jay Demise work. I'm gonna give the book a. Give it an 8 out of 10. But I do like the artwork though. That's the best thing about the book. Alright, next up is a book that. Here's the thing about this book. It collects a 12-issue run that Keith Giffen did back in 2001. I think a lot of people forgot this book came out. And you're thinking, really? There's a run that Keith Giffen did that people will forget about? Yes. He wrote this book, Suicide Squad. Yep, this is called Casualties of War, the trade is called. Now, excuse me, here's the thing. I had no idea this trade even existed until I looked up on this app. Yeah, I had no idea. Now, is this a real thing? Yes. Yes, it is. Now, you probably think, okay, like, everything, okay, like, when did this trade come out? You might ask. Well, it's a good question, mind you. Mm-hmm. Like, let's see if I can find it here. Like, wow, this book was just so recent. Like, how long ago this came out? This came back in June. Are you thinking June of this year? Yeah, it's something that's quite odd. Like it's a book that was released that nobody was really asking for to be released. I guess somebody at DC was begging for this book to be released. Yes, this collects the entire 12-issue run that Keith Giffen did from 2001 to 2002. I do have a theory of why this book was released. My personal theory, as a promotion for the Suicide Squad movie that came out recently. I've seen it. It's a really good movie. Now, the artwork is done by Paco Medina. Now, the first issue... Now, I should point out, though, the two characters who pretty much in like a lot of the issues are Deadshot and Killer Frost. Now, they're not in the first issue. The first issue is the Injustice League. And here's the thing. Two members get killed off here. The Injustice League, which is comprised of Clock King, Clue Master, Big Sur. Yeah, and this team was assembled by... And you're probably thinking, okay, like, who assembled this group? Why, it was Sergeant Rock. And you're thinking, Sergeant Rock? Yeah, they later retconned at the end of this book that the Sergeant Rock has popped up in this book since the book started was in fact an imposter, along with the character Bulldozer. Now, the group they assembled in the very first issue was only in the very first issue. They later changed the group like right after the first issue. Yeah, they're pretty much something just like on a suicide mission. And then Justice League was made up at the time of Big Sur, a Flash villain, Clock King, Green Arrow villain, Clue Master, a Batman villain, Major Disaster, who I believe is a Green Lantern villain, and Multi-Man, who is an enemy of the Challenge the Unknown. Yep. That's what he's the creation of Ed Harry and Bob Brownie. Yes. And here's the thing. Like, Big Sur and Clock King die. Yeah, this is the last time you see Clock King until the Flashpoint relaunch where William Talkman was brought back. Well, this version anyways, they have another William Talkman, was this chubby black man who claimed to be the Clock King, but then they had the actual Clock King pop up in the first issue of Green Arrow. Was Deathstroke. Yes. Now, a lot of people were apparently killed off. Now, Clue Master was later able to survive in the pages of War Games. In the case of Multi-Man, Last Laugh. Pretty much, Key just brought these characters back just to kill them off. Yep. And these are the outfits they gave them in this book. Yeah, one thing I love of this book is the fact they actually list off all the members who appears in the issues at the start of every issue. I'm so glad this trade paperback kept that in here. And they go on a mission and pretty much a lot of them get killed off. Yes. My only guess is the reason why they brought back Clue Master, and this is my personal theory, they brought him back because Chuck Dixon had plans for him in the pages of Robin. Multi-Man, I'm not really sure. And then they replaced him with, well, Rock and Bulldozer in this issue along with new characters Havana and Modem. Yeah, they're just here to set up a new Suicide Squad team. Now, the Suicide Squad, Waller has nothing to do with this Suicide Squad. And you're thinking, Waller always associated with the Suicide Squad. Not at this point, DC Comics. Oh, no. You see, she was a member of Lex Luthor's cabinet when he was president. I'm not kidding about that. And she does appear in a book as a supporting character. Like, she just basically just handles different things. And so we have the Suicide Squad team. We can't exactly send them out the field just yet. Lex does know about the Suicide Squad, but he does nothing to interfere with it. So, and then we have, and I should point out, we have this Havana, who, by the way, Paco Medina, who's the artist, like, man, draws to be so smoking hot. Like, wow. Yes, Paco Medina does an absolute fantastic job with this artwork. Yes, he makes every single character in this book look so good and makes the ladies so sexy. So they replace those members who died in issue 1 with Bolt, Larvent, Killer Frost, Putty, and Eliza. Now, Killer Frost, this is Louise Lincoln at this point in time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is Louise Lincoln. She is the second Killer Frost. She was Killer Frost up until Flashpoint when they replaced her with Caitlin Snow, who was used for the Flash TV show. Now, the other members in this group. Now, Eliza, she only appears in this issue. She is just this character who appears in this one issue, and that's it for her. Yep, one issue and she's done. Now, Larvent is another one-shot character. Yeah, he's a character who, on the cover, you might think of mistaken for based in the mask, by picking Premier Mask, but nope. Putty is another one-shot character. But yeah, Killer Frost specifically rejoins the group. Now, she originally joined the group a long time ago. Yes. She joined the group. Let's see if we can find the page here. Let's see here. I think she joined in the... I don't think it was the original volume. No. Oh yeah, she did join the original volume. She joined in an issue of Firestorm. Yep. My guess is John S. Swindler probably had plans for her, so they put her over in that book. And she's been probably part of the group since then. Yep, yes she has. Now, I just want to point out before I continue with this book, there were a ton of other teams prior to this. You had an issue of Superboy. You had Waller, part of the group, obviously. Keth Boomerang, Deadshot, King Shark, who officially joined the group with this particular run. Knockout, Sam Marca, and Sidearm. They were part of the group with this one. For Hawkeye Up 3 and 4, you had Shrapnel, Bronze Tiger, Count Vertigo. Yeah, he rejoined the group. Let's see. You also had Quinzette, Terminal, and Vux. And that was it. Second issue of Chase, you have Bolt, who was actually in this book here. Bolt is a villain who first popped up in Blue Devil. Yep, he's a Blue Devil villain. And you also had Cameron Chase, Copperhead, of course Killer Frost obviously again, and Sludge. In the one-shot Superman Worlds of War, you had Plasma join the group, and Adventure Superman 593 and 4, you have Manchester Black, Chemical, Steel, and Mongol. Yep. Yep, and they had more people join the group as time went on. Mm-hmm. Yep. And if you're wondering how Paco Medina draws Louise Lincoln, like, yeah, this is how he draws her. There's Killer Frost for you. Yep, that is Killer Frost drawn by Paco Medina. Which, damn. Yeah, there is, like, no denying. He makes every single woman so smoking hot. Makes them so sexy. Like, later on, I think he gives some women 6-packs. Yeah, he gives them basically muscles. Yep. And Killer Frost is probably the only person aside from Sergeant Rock who's practically in, like, a lot of these issues. She's here from issue 2, actually issue 3, up until the final issue. And he had her survive, like, the explosion in the issue, where she's wearing only but a pair of underwear. Yeah. That's Killer Frost for you. Yeah, where that was her primary attire for the first couple issues of this run. Before later on they gave her another attire. Mm-hmm. Now in issue 4, they don't really list off any new members. Nope, nobody joins this issue. Well, except maybe Unknown. They have a flashback with the Unknown Soldier. Yes, I believe this is the World War II incarnation of the character. Yep. I mean, it's great to see the Unknown Soldier. Mm-hmm. He's only here in flashback, but that's it. I think the need to know one, this issue here, is just a flashback to the old World War II incarnation, which was great. The fact that Keith Giffen referenced this incarnation, just another story for them, which is really good. Yeah, and then finally in issue 4, we finally have Deadshot join the group. Yep. Yep. All about cake. Just really 5 is not much of an issue per se. Just Modem and one of the other characters, and eventually we finally have more members on the team. Yeah, Waller and just expanded the team. Yeah, then in issue 6, we have some more people joining the team. We have Black Star, Major Disaster, and Reactron. Black Star is a very beautiful woman. Yep, and this issue is her very first appearance. Issue 6. Now, after appearing a few issues of this, she appeared in one issue of Action Comics, and that was it for her. And I'm like, really? That's it for her? Yeah, a very good-looking woman. You know, show off here, like, I mean, she's got some abs. You're like, wow. Like, this woman is a very beautiful woman. I would have thought, though, DC would do something with this character, but no. After these first few issues, like, after the next 2 issues and one appearance in Action Comics, no, that's it for her. Reactron, I believe he's I think he's a Green Lantern villain, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, no, he's a Superman villain. Yep, he's a Superman villain. Yeah, where he looks like this throughout the... He had this weird yellow head look throughout this run. And it's great to see Deadshot part of this group because, well, here's the weird thing about this book. Deadshot is the only person from the original group who was part of this group. And here's Killer Frost's new attire that she will sport the entire rest of the run. And it is something, though. I'm sure that Deadshot does think Killer Frost is hot, but he does not try to seduce her. And surprisingly, no one tried to seduce Killer Frost. And here's Black Star in her very brand new attire. Yep. And they take on these other villains here. They might be curious, though. Is there any more depth to these issues? No. Not really. Nobody else dies in this book. Yep, they just go on a series of missions throughout the rest of the issues. And it's weird, though. Like, I don't really get why the heck the character... Well, Reactor was removed from the group, but he didn't die. Well, you think he died, but don't worry, he'll be back. Yeah, don't worry about that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he apparently dies in issue number 8. But don't worry, he comes back later on. Because he's in the War of Superman stuff. Though, Deadshot doesn't do anything in issue 10 and issue 9. Yep. So, after this issue wraps up, like, after they wrap up this mission, like, well... Yeah, this is a funny line from Deadshot, where he is Killer Frost saying, "Fine, I say we take out the rest of them and make a clean sweep." And Deadshot's like, "Keep talking like that, or I may have to marry you." And he's talking to and he's telling Major Zest to stay out of this. Black Star, I don't think this is a good idea. Agreed. So they all kind of on the way to run away. Black Star, of course, just does whatever the heck she wants here. And then basically, like, they all just stay on the island for the rest of the run. Now, they're hearing this great cover by Paco Medina, but they're not in the issue. Nope, with the exception of, well, they appear on TV screens, but that's it. Yeah, basically the last few issues recapping the previous few issues of the run. Yeah, we're just recapping and deal with the fate of the Suicide Squad because and then we have another story with the World War II incarnation of the Suicide Squad for issue 11. And 12, they kind of investigate the whole thing with dead with well, they have one last team here. You have Russum, which I've kind of thought he was a New 52 creation. Well, he's a creation for the current group. No, I don't think he was. Yeah, oh yeah, and the character Modem, who was part of this group since issue like 1. Yeah, Modem dies in the penultimate issue of this run. Yeah. Now I thought Russell was a character who just showed up in the current continuity, who was a creation of Josh Lenz, but no, Russell was a pre-Flashpoint character who was from the Outsiders, from the second volume for Outsiders. He's a Mike W. Bird character. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he popped up in the second volume. He popped up recently for the current Suicide Squad stuff. Probably because maybe that some of you may have forgot he was associated with the Suicide Squad. Possibly. So then I pop up here for this series, and they pop up just for Suicide Squad, and they popped the fear issues for Wonder Woman. And that was it for him. Yep. So they have this group called Onslaught. No, nothing to do with Marvel's Onslaught. Yeah, they're just basically like a group, or the Jihad. Yeah, they're basically a group from the first volume of the Suicide Squad. And then, of course, Savannah dies in the final issue of this book. Yeah, kind of in the way she was kind of like the character who was from the original volume of Suicide Squad, who was Amanda Waller's niece, who was one of the doctors. Yeah. Yeah, this whole issue is focused on the Jihad, but no Suicide Squad. Nope. Yeah, Modem is killed off in this issue, and then Havana is killed off not long after that. Yep. Yeah, and then we have more people joining the Suicide Squad for Swan Song. We have Killer Frost joining the group along with Deadshot, Hawkman, Star Spangled Kid, Power Girl, and Wildcat. Their job was to clear the mess of the Suicide Squad. Yep, bringing the JSA to deal with the Suicide Squad. Okay, fine, whatever. Actually, they work with them for this one issue. And yeah, they're just here just for this one issue. And, well, that's it for the book. Yep. And in the final issue ends with this particular revelation. Frank Castle and Bulldozer in 1945. Then who was the person operating this group in issue 1? The answer? Never explored, because we got canceled. From what I read online, apparently this book was canceled due to low sales. Despite the book got good artwork and pretty okay storytelling. I would think a writer like Keith Giffen was basically... I thought at the time I originally read this book online, I thought it was just an okay book. It wasn't like what John Ostrander, which I love John Ostrander's run. But rereading this now, I'm like, wow, this actually is a pretty good book. And the reason the book ended, low sales. That was the very simple reason for it. And it was great to see Killer Frost. I think Paco Medina is a very underrated artist. Yeah, this is interesting, though, for Paco Medina. Like, he did this entire 12-issue run. Didn't miss a single issue. I think he did all the covers. Yeah, he did every single issue of this whole run. He did an issue of Action Comics, Revenge of Superman, a one-shot for Superman Infestation. And after this particular book wrapped up, aside from this book, he did a 2-issue of Superboy, 1 issue of Superman. Yeah, he didn't do a lot at DC. No, well, not as a pencil, not a penciler per se, but I think he was a lot more Like for creations wise, he didn't create that many of my characters. No, a lot of his characters are not that well known, and I don't know if Paco Medina ever did anything else for the industry. No, I don't know if he did. I mean, his work for DC was not much. I mean, he just worked there for the 2000s, and that was it. Because I don't think he ever did anything else. Well, he hadn't done anything in years for DC. He did work at Marvel. I think he still works there. I think he's probably done a lot more work at Marvel than he does at DC. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the books that at Marvel were books like, well, he did Venom, the original run, a few issues of Thor, Captain Marvel here, David, some issues of Fantastic Four, Human Torch, New X-Men, Marvel Team Up. He did some of the third volume for this series, a lot of issues, New X-Men Volume 4. Volume 2 did New Warriors. First issue of that. He was the original artist for, let's see, this is the... Oh, okay, yeah, this is the second volume for the series, though they less online as fourth volume. For the Dana Way run. Yep, he was the artist for the Dana Way issues, for the first 18 issues of it. He also worked on X-Men Volume 3. He did a lot of X-Men work. Like a lot of work for Marvel. A lot more work for Marvel than he did for DC. His most recent book he worked on, oh yeah, I did review his stuff with Legend of Star-Lord. Really good book. He did Contest of Champions, U.S. Avengers. He was one of the artists for the most recent volume for Avengers, The Never Wrote Home. Let's see. His most recent book that was released, he did Children of the Atom. Yeah, he was the artist throughout a few of the issues for the book. His most recent book he worked on was the Fantastic Four Anniversary Tribute issue. Yep, a one-shot issue that's come out really soon, but that has been released per se. Was probably the final issue of Children of the Atom. And there's no denying Paco Medina is a great artist. He probably should a lot more, but depends what we give him. So yeah, and not much else to say about this book. I'm gonna give Suicide Squad Casualties of War a 9.5 out of 10. Just a really good book. Yep. So yeah, that's it for Circle Review. And next few, I was thinking doing Super Sentai, but I really want to get this stuff on today. I'm gonna do My Hero Academia next. Okay. Next video. Bye.